so my experience at the different level and with the questions was different. It was, I thought it was more vague. Because, you know, instruction, how is this kid's personality? It was just, it was hard. I didn't like this one. But if you guys get your stuff in the summer, then you have all of fall and all of spring to pick your kids. And so you would be able to video later in the year.
Yeah, like my first video I recorded in January.
Yes.
Because we didn't get the instructions until December anyway.
Yeah.
And my second one I recorded in April. And then I finished it before May 15th.
And I did like 5 different ones, trying to get something, but yeah, it was just, so I think, again, you guys would have a better experience, because you know what to expect earlier, and especially elementary, you know, those are your kids. Not that mine aren't my kids, but, you know, you know them all day long, yeah.
All right, the last component is often called the last part, or this is the component that changed the most significantly from the first iteration to the second one. The first iteration was, can you talk to us a little bit about?
It was kind of your professionalism and how you're helping others grow. It was things like curriculum writing, kind of all those things you do that are above and beyond regular teaching.
And now it's really another full-on component. So is anyone working or thinking about component 4? So we've talked a little bit. This is the most recent release, and it's pretty intimidating when you first look at it.
As you get into it, because it's actually, I don't know why they're still calling it effective and reflective practitioner, because it's about assessments.
Yeah, either.
And it is our curriculum learning team PLC process. And so that, yeah, and maybe because we finally know how to write everything out. This has been, I finally feel like I know what the heck I'm doing with it. So yeah, I was upset when I got it because I was like, dang it, this was supposed to be the easy one, but it hasn't been too bad. It talks about your personal learning needs and the communities that you work in, and then a student learning need and how that works. So we have CLTs that meet weekly, curriculum learning teams for the knowledge of, and we were doing stuff and it worked perfectly because we talked about that one.
Good. Others?
I think that this component is a ginormous beast. Sorry to make your heart beat faster. It is a lot. Out of all the components so far, this is probably, for me, the most work that I've put in. And the reason why is it has a lot to do with data, like you said.
Yeah.
So there's it's kind of like 2 separate pieces that kind of just mush together. Yeah. One is about your professional learning communities, like you said. The other one is about student need and professional need. So you have to use data to prove that there is a student need in your classroom. And from that need, what are you going to do to A, help those kids, and B, what are you going to do professionally to get yourself ready to do that? You can go down so many avenues with it, which is a good thing. It's very vague, so you could do this or that or this or that. But you have to find a need, and then you have to prove the need, and they're not demanding growth, but you need to show growth. You need to show where you moved your kids and why you moved your kids, and then you have to analyze that and reflect on it. And that's just the one part, and then the other part is the professional part where you have to talk about that too. So it's I spent a lot of time with data, with having to compile it in a clear and concise way so that when they look at it, they can say, oh yeah, I understand that, and not like, what is it, So for me, I felt like it just took a while to do the data part, and then you have to do all the rest of the stuff, the written analysis, the reflection.
The first part is, how do you know your students?
Yeah, the group profiling.
Yeah, how do you know your students? What do you look at? Who do you talk to? Data.
Yeah.
And for me,
a lot of forms.
I think that one of the best things you can do as far as collecting data for them is look at different campus for their Lexile scores, math scores, whatever, but then also look at giving them like a MI test or something at the beginning of a year, just to kind of sort of multiple intelligence test. Oh. And so just so you have that you can utilize and so you can discuss that. And so when you start talking about, oh, I got 4 kinesthetic learners and so on and so forth. It's just, you act like you know what you're talking about, even if you really have no idea. And even if you're not actually changing it, because I think as a teacher, all of us are trying to make sure we hit all of it, just by being able to present the idea of, I'm aware of what these kids have, and therefore I want to make sure I hit all of this. And I had kids get up at this point in time, because I wanted to make sure that my 22 students, 12 of who placed well as kinesthetic learners, did this or whatever.
Are you working on 4 also?
If by working on, I mean I will be, yes. I got 3 weeks, we're good.
Not one to wing, probably.
The PLC work that we do, I would really suggest you utilize that in this, because it just ties it together. It seems to, I don't know what you guys do at your school with PLC.
It's very similar.
We have with our, like.
We probably have more than you do.
Yeah.
We have like 2
Maybe twice a week.
Okay.
We once a month for 2 hours.
Once a month.
Once a month for 2 hours.
All right, so we looked at the timeline. When you feel ready to get started, you will go to the website, click exactly like Lee did on that thing that says first time and returning users, and it will take you to a screen that looks like this. Has anyone not been there? All right, perfect. So you know, you click on there, you scroll down, you find, and it has your descriptors. Nancy Suter says, you're gonna kill a lot of trees, kill them. Because it's really worth printing this out and being able to mark it up, come back to it, check it off, highlight. Just let yourself be okay with having a tangible copy of all of the standards, all of the components, all of the directions. Or to Lee's point, if you're okay with digital, un-PDF it and let it be something that you can manipulate. Because if you are trying to keep all of this in your head, I think it just doesn't ever kind of gel.
And there's general portfolio directions way at the tippy top. Don't forget to do those too, because sometimes there's information in there, those that are not in the components.
There's one thing else that I want to point out to you. The website is where you always want to go. There are multiple websites, and they have not taken the old ones down. There's also multiple versions. We are now in version 1.9. Make sure every time you look something up that you're in the most current version. We had a case where somebody's directions actually changed in the amount of what they were supposed to submit. So they had done too much and then had to shrink it down. And it was just very frustrating, simply because they were looking at 1.4 instead of 1.5. So just always make sure that you're going directly to this board certified site and that you're using the most updated version.
And I did training a couple weeks ago and in DC, and they said that they are going to blend, that they're going to go to one, and I think it's over the summer.
One website?
One website.
Oh, wonderful. That's great.
And have someone check it before you submit it. I think it was 3 years ago, someone submitted the wrong component, uploaded to the wrong portion, and so then they got a 0 on the entire thing, and they wouldn't let them resubmit it. And like for like their next year, they wanted to, but they're like, no, the year has already passed, so they pretty much just lost everything.
Oh my goodness.
So.
Very understanding.
Oh, they work with you. So check and double check and triple check, and don't be that story that we all talk about later. Don't be that statistic.
And as you're looking through, make sure, it's just silly things, make sure you get the right component that you have, that's yours. They all have valuable information, and one sentence may change everything. There's not a sentence that seems to be there that is not worth reading multiple times. Each of you will receive a mentor. If you have someone that is in your building, that is in your area, that you have a previous relationship with, that you would like to mentor you, please submit that name to me. I try and match up everyone by your subject area, but I don't always know who you know. So it's just easier if you just let me know if there's someone. If I don't hear from you, I'll just match you up. We usually make those matches kind of late in the summer, and then give you time to connect with them over the year. we will offer different development meetings here that will go in depth over the different components. So in September, we'll do components 1 and 2. I'm missing a date out there, aren't I? Oh no, here we go. In January, we'll do components 3 and 4. And then next year in April, you'll come back, have more snacks, and you'll be the experienced ones that say, oh, I remember sitting there. I remember Katie when she sat there had 1,500 questions. And now, look, she's the expert.
How far are you?
The only meeting that you are required to attend this year as part of your scholarship earning is in your first year. We do ask that you attend this meeting and then you come back next April to be the expert, just so that we have expert voices in the room, because all of you that have gone through this process know a whole lot more than I do about it. These are optional. We do have lots of great resources. It's a question and answer time. There's some videos that we watch. I email everything out though. I do understand that time away from your family is always challenging. So try and work with you, but know that we have support available as well as from your mentor. Sometimes the hardest part is asking your mentor to help you, especially if it's not someone you previously know. Please know that they are paid for offering the services to you. So don't feel like you're taking advantage of them. They've signed up because they're volunteering to be mentors. So ask them for help. They have knowledge and expertise that is amazing, and they get a benefit of being able to offer that support to you. So I've had a couple of people say, oh, I feel so bad calling. Don't. And if I have had a mentor say, you know, I've got 3 people this year and it's just too much. Can you help me find it? And we've just moved people around. So communication on both sides is really the essential piece. But I have yet to meet someone who's a national board certified teacher that isn't willing to help anyone, just because they know what you're going through.
Wouldn't be a bad thing.
Right, absolutely.
Just
A
don't
little
know that
offering.
for them.
Yeah. Any other tidbits, questions? Yes.
I just have a question about
Absolutely.
the email that you sent.
Today?
Ed Plus or
Yes.
Ed Plus?
Yes. Ed Plus offers a getting started with national boards. It's taught by Kelly Mueller, who also does Saturday sessions all throughout the year. She, is it $25? $20 on Saturdays, and I try and forward those to you, as well as most of you will get on her listserv. But I've heard it's not affiliated with Parkway. We don't pay for that or provide that, but I have heard good things about the time with her as being useful. What would you guys add? Did anybody go to the Ed Plus days?
Oh, I didn't go to all her days. I went to some of her little frenzies.
The free frenzy.
Yeah.
She does like a free frenzy in like February, I think.
She does
There's,
their fall and a spring.
Yeah, fall and spring. It's a couple days where y'all just stress out together and
Yeah, it's really
then write
nice.
or whatever.
And did you go to the summer one?
I did.
What
And,
was that like?
Basically, it was just an overview of what all the components are, and she just kind of did this, but in a lot more detail for each component, and she gave you handouts for each component, like, you should use this form for the videotaping, so you know that you need to actually say minute by minute what's going to happen, and she gives you a lot of helpful things. And then you can join groups and things, like she gives you like different websites, and so you can connect with other people who aren't just your mentor. Because like for me, I had no one going through this in my area except for me, and then my mentor who has passed, but it was a different thing. So it's very beneficial, and you can get 2 credits through Maryville if you go to the Ed Plus workshop, which I did, and that was great. And then if you go to her her Saturday dates, so it is $20 if you go there every other Saturday. It's 3 hours of work time. You can ask her for help, other people for help. You can just sit there and be alone and work. I loved it because it was something on my schedule where I knew I had national board work time. You can get credit through Maryville also for doing components. So like I already have 3 credits from component 2 and 3 just for submitting them. But you have to show her your work. She's not gonna grade it, she's not gonna do anything with it. It's just, did you do it? Yes, you did. Did you submit it? Yes, you did. She's looking at it, you got all the pieces, perfect. She says the Maryville pass, and you get 3 credits. You have to pay for it, of course. But it's a really
Good way to
easy
double
way
dip and try to
get
do your
11
master's
credits.
plus.
So if you don't have your master's plus 30 yet, you can do those things for this and get 11
If you do
credits.
have a master's plus 30, you think it's still worthwhile?
Well, you wouldn't get the math. I mean,
Not-
Yeah, I did mine after my
Right,
Saturday
just
session.
the
Oh,
Saturday.
this is such a beneficial process. It's very
And
tedious.
again, having
and
kids
very
home, it's
overwhelming.
like, sorry, I have to go to this thing 10 minutes later.
Yeah, I mean, that's helpful because
It's
there's
all
You do
day.
not- You might want to attend this.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't
Or
do
just
that.
say you're going and, you know,
Right.
go get your nails done.
PNEA also does, or not PNEA, I guess MNEA does,
Yeah.
like jump starts and all kinds of classes on that. And I usually, when I get those, I'll send as well. And Amy's real good about sending that all out as well.
those
And
are
so I
the
was that's what was my training was 2
Okay.
weeks ago. So now I can do the jump starts in the summer.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Those are really beneficial too. I went to everyone that I could because for me, it wasn't just going once because each year a new component came out, so I had to keep going.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Became a hobby.
But yeah, it's great. Lots of new friends.
Quick follow-up to the things that you just shared there. First off, is it $20 per Saturday, or is it,
Yes.
okay.
And
Second
it
off,
has to be cash. Cannot be a check. Just,
That
just,
seems shady.
yeah, I mean, it's because she doesn't, you know what, anyway.
This is kind of her side gig.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, that's very shady, that's okay.
Ah.
Well, she works with other districts, and so they pay her for their candidates, and Parkway doesn't pay her, so if you go, you have to pay her for her services.
when you said that we have to pay Maryville for the credit, what kind of dollars are we talking about?
I think it was 540
Was it like 190
or something total
Does that sound right?
for the 3 credits. It was not
That's
ridiculous.
not too bad.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
cheaper than
190
my
a credit
classes at
hour.
Truman.
It's
So-
180 on this.
180,
Yeah.
okay.
And you just like, you go on Maryville's website, you can type in National Board, the form will pop up, you can send it in with your check, and then they just changed people and did the registrar stuff. And then you
For
just
the
contact
renew,
them.
it does last, your certificate used to last 10 years, it now will last 5. So you used to be renewed, you used to have to do 1 component, now you have to do 2. But you will earn the Parkway stipend the entire time you're certified.
Wait, I thought it's the opposite. I thought you used to have to do component 4 and one of the components, now you only have to do component 4.
For
For
recertification, they
recertification.
haven't rewritten that yet. They haven't-
Yeah, look it up. The last contact I had was because I was trying to convince our district that it would be beneficial for us to give a secondary scholarship for people who are trying to do recertification. Because, and offer like 1 component since we had to pay for 2. So that was, if they've changed it or updated it, let me know.
Okay, are you familiar with any other grad school benefits through other universities, or is it just the Maryville connection?
Maryville, they all seem to offer something. Maryville's the one that is the easiest through us. The NEA one, I don't know if they can do credits.
I don't know on that one.
But,
That's just, you know, getting before it.
The state used to offer grants and scholarships, and that was eliminated maybe your last year.
Mine was last year. That's why there was a big group of us that went together.
And so really the 50% that Parkway offers you, paying for half your components, is a pretty good deal. It's still expensive, I know, but you do get it back in your stipends. Just gotta kind of wait that.
So when you become certified, is it in the fall or is it in the December of that year?
Ours was November, but yes, of that year. So my last submit was, no, I guess it was the test, was June of 2013, and then I was certified November of 2013.
So it goes through, for you, November of 2023.
Correct.
Okay.
But for us, only 5 years.
Right. Because, yes, you get all those things.
And I don't really know what drove them to make those changes.
I heard that in 10 years of time, you could not be a good teacher still, basically. Like you could sit there and eat bonbons.
There's a lot of change that goes through
and do
education, I think. in
You were doing the
so
same
I
thing
think
10
that's
years
legit.
later.
Yeah, so that's why I heard that 5 years is more realistic, to make sure you're still an accomplished teacher. But I also heard the process is, even though it's still a lot of work, it's not as much work as this, and the national boards never wants to say, oh, you were certified, but now you're not certified. So more people, like, when they resubmit, like more people pass, it's a greater number, like right off the bat.
Other questions?
So what it says on the website, it says, so the process for renewing, which is called the maintenance of certification. The rollout of MOC will take effect for candidates who certify in 27 and later. In 2021 is existing 10 years certificates, you'll be able to extend it in 5 years intervals. It says that the development had not yet started, but we're hoping to keep it similar to the component of a single component of the certification process every 5 years. This is in contrast to the current renewal process, which requires profiles personal growth with 3 interrelated components and a reflection. We expect the certification cost to be about what we're currently paying for renewal, which is under the single certification component of currently $475 as possible. So they're not saying for sure, but they're hoping to keep it under $475. And it is a change with current candidates has been told no, and it says basically when your contract expires,
Okay.
you get to renew it.
Sounds good.
So, and my understanding was it's going to be very similar like component 4.
Okay.
At least that's what I heard from someone somewhere, and I don't remember who that person was.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you so much. I hope you found some valuable information. Get to know the people in this room. They can be your best allies over the course of this adventure. And I hope to see most of you again in September when we talk more in depth about component 1 and 2. Thanks, Emily. Maybe
Amy, can we talk to you about editing my videos?
about what?
Editing my videos.
Tell me what you mean, like the size?
Yeah. Well, I want to credit too, and I keep on doing it in media, and it makes my sound go away.
Okay, I can help you. I do it all day, so that there's one day off.
My email.
Yeah.
I think we know you. I have it like tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Emma. Hi, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So my video is 45 minutes every day where I wanted to cut from. Like I actually did. Like I did it twice and it keeps on.
Thank you. Good luck with
Send it
your
to me and tell me your
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a light.
Oh my gosh.
I said, like, I can do this.
The only other small thing about it is halfway through, then flip the way it's recorded. So there's a part of time where you have to split it. So there's a time we have to split it and then flip the whole thing.
Okay.
I figured I would try to not make them watch it like this. So.
Good or no? I don't know if I'm gonna do thank you. Because I started
Like
okay, I will. Thank you.
Thanks for your insight on the music stuff. That's interesting.
Thank you so much for coming.
It's real different.
So you've about done?
Another look at 3 and 4.
Yeah, there's a light. I'm submitting May 5th.
At least I'll know
I'll learn
in the
how to
summer.
water. That's the one that's probably staying.
Yeah, which is good.
Okay.
Why May 5th?
Okay.
It's Friday, and I like to
Good
submit my work.
Call me and I'll.
I like to stay after
Okay.
school on Friday when everybody's gone.
And how
And I
do you
scan everything, and I
rename
print
it? Is there a
everything, scan it
special
all in,
format or
yeah.
just submit the?
And then send it, upload it as PDFs. It just makes me feel safer, better.
Everything but the
So,
75
and I don't wanna wait too
Right.
late. And if since the very beginning, I was like May 5th. So it doesn't matter, because I will be done by May 5th.
Well,
That was my date.
So I had a nasty car accident last year in February.